David Barrett here for the Entertainment Getaway YouTube show here at Lanesplitter Pizzas right here in Oakland. And before me is a band from Sacramento called Echo Set. And they have played here one other time, but do a lot of shows in Sacramento and all over the Bay Area. So I'll go down the line and introduce yourself.
Rachel, I'm the drummer.
I'm Philip, I'm the guitarist.
Yep.
Carlos, I am the bass man, slapping the bass.
Cool, cool. So how long have you been a band with this lineup? And we'll just start right there.
Carlos and I were, gosh, it's been like 2.5, 3 years now, yeah. And but you just joined like in the last 4 or 5 months, right?
February.
January.
Yeah, February.
So, yeah.
Cool. And what shows have you done around mostly Sacramento? I'm taking it because that's where y'all are based out of, right?
Yeah, we've probably done like maybe 10 shows total so far.
Right.
We haven't done a ton of shows, but
We're more in the Bay Area. It's hard for us to get gigs in Sacramento. Like we played a gig in Hotel Utah last year. That was really fun.
Right on. That's a great spot. I like the Hotel Utah.
We played at the Porch Fest last year.
Oh, that's all the way in
Mission.
Stockton, right? Or
no, we did the Mission
San
Porch
Francisco
Fest.
one.
okay, gotcha.
We also did the potluck, the Kansas Street potluck in San Francisco. That was fun.
Yeah. And then we've played here this is our third time.
We did a couple Kava Bar gigs where we actually played like a 3-hour set a couple times in Sacramento. We played Old Ironsides and the Golden Bear and yeah, that kind of stuff.
Nice. So I know people see a couple clips that we'll shoot here to go along with this, but how would you describe your sound? I mean, I feel it's just a mixture of things, a very moods, peaks and valleys. I mean, what would you say? Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead, start. You
No, that's a good description. I feel like we have a lot of, like, it's sort of rock. I mean, it's rock and roll based, obviously.
Yeah.
We're a loud trio, but there's a lot of influences. Phil, because he's played in bands, industrial bands, all kinds of projects that he's done. I've played in some like original bands in Texas, played in some noise bands. Rachel's played in some heavy metal bands. So we bring all of our backgrounds together, and that's Echo Set. Like it's hard to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
So we just take the best of, you know.
We've seen you once before.
Rock and
Yeah.
make something interesting and you out of well, Phil.
It's almost like a surfy shoegaze, like
Psychedelic shoegaze.
I like the surf gaze.
Surf gaze.
Surf gaze.
That's a good one.
Surf gaze.
That's a good one.
I've thought about that. I've hashtagged it. I'm trying to get residuals off that.
Start your own new genre there.
It is, yeah, some derivatives off of surf gaze. I would say like it's cinematic, soundtracky sounding, kind of post-rock, art rock, psychedelic rock, surf flavored.
Because you see in there they have the visuals going on. One of the few bands that do play visuals and it's something on the screen to kind of pull people in on that visual tip, you know? Yeah.
Like triggering samples that triggered videos over kind of like atmospheric and emotive, tone-driven sonic escapes.
Yeah. Well, take note, people. This is how you do it. Multimedia production. You just don't limit it to the sound, but you want to get people visually too. What's behind the name Echo Set? Who came up with that, and what's the meaning behind it? If you want to share that with the people.
That was hard. I mean, I think about names all the time.
What is an Echo Set?
Well, an Echo Set literally is a set of echoes. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you go, hello, it's literally called an Echo Set.
Yeah.
But I think because I use so much reverb and delay sometimes, that it makes the music echo is kind of a big sky, big headroom, echoey sounding. But I would say echo isn't really the right word, but I would say, you know, spaciness. So I think that's part of the spaciness we're doing. But we can like driving space. So I wouldn't say it's like it's not aggressive ambient music. It's beyond just ambient music. I'd say it's like atmospheric, you know. And so there's sort of a descriptor in there. But I also like the idea of not. I don't know. I thought about so many names. So many of the names I come up with are really provocative and like inappropriate. And so for me, just thinking of something that was just more like a name that would be enough to be like, okay, that's your band, and then don't think about a name anymore.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, check, there's
like
the name.
it.
Yeah,
Cool.
That works.
It's a real thing, you know?
Yeah.
bands.
Nice. Well, where can the folks here link to any songs, album, EP on
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
We have Bandcamp. And I have a YouTube and an Instagram where you can see videos and stuff for our band. But like, if you want to have the music, we do have some singles and like one collection of singles up on Bandcamp.
Cool. And anything on YouTube? Any music videos or
Just
something
videos, yeah.
you may be working on or something?
Yeah, I'll throw up videos. It's a small, like, we don't have a whole lot of followers, but I would definitely go into a lot of trouble to make the videos. I like the videos that we've made. We have a rehearsal space where we've got it really mic'd up, so we're able to get some pretty nice tracks. So a lot of times we're just throwing up, rehearsal recordings onto Bandcamp and using those to make videos, and it just kind of comes out raw. But yeah, that's what we're working with.
Cool. And we like to go from past to present and hoping people look up and do research on these bands that, even if they're not around anymore, they still left an impression and inspiration and influence on many. So your Texas scene, what bands were you in and bands you played with, and bring us back to Texas for your stuff growing up.
I'm
Yeah.
from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Butthole Surfers. Gibby Hay.
The most extreme band name I've ever heard in my life, really.
Yeah, that was taken, so we didn't want to use it.
No, so I started playing in the 90s in a band called Pepperhead with my friends Jake and Javier, and that morphed to a trio. We were called Mass, M-A-S-S, and we played a lot of shows in San Antonio, a few shows in Austin and Houston. Yeah, we never really took off, but it was...
What sound would you describe either band? And look these bands up, people, on YouTube.
Similar to, kind of like Echo Set. It's like we didn't really fit in one particular genre. It was, we had the main songwriter. His name was Jake Hernandez. He played the guitar. He wrote the lyrics. He sang, played harmonica. We played electric sets. We played acoustic sets, and we like to.
Cool.
We like to improvise. We would do jams. We would play live. We'd extend the songs, and we'd go right into the next song, and just like we try to take people on a trip. And so that's kind of what we do. That's why I like Echo Set, because we do kind of the similar thing. Although it's instrumental, but
yeah,
it spoke to me in that like.
And the samples sometimes can be the lyrics when you think about it. That voice
and
in the songs, so yeah, for sure.
Another way to bring the audience in.
Very layered.
So,
yeah.
That's where I got my start. Seeing there in San
So
Antonio.
look it up, Mass and Pepperhead.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff people can find online if they Google it, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they put San Antonio, Texas in.
Yeah, and look up Taco Land. It was a kind of an infamous dive where a bunch of bands played that would go through there. But also first Nirvana, like everybody played through there.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
Yeah.
And I always ask people about influences. I mean, I'm not a bass player. I wish I was, but my favorites are Bootsy Collins, Victor Wooten,
I love
and
Bootsy. Love Victor.
A little bit of Stanley Clark. So what are your bass guys that influence you for the artist you are?
Geddy Lee, John
Geddy
Paul
Lee.
Jones.
Oh yeah, Rush,
The
Zeppelin.
Master. And then I like the bass player from Duran Duran.
He's
big
got
influence on
tasty
me.
licks,
John
man.
Taylor?
John
I think his
Taylor.
name's John Taylor.
You know what brought the funk out of John was Nile Rodgers from
that's
Chic.
right.
Made him funkier. I'm pretty
he
sure.
Said, on an interview, he said something like, the bass line should tell a story on its own. So I try to emulate that.
You have great taste, my friend, and bass players and
John McVie, Fleetwood Mac. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
such a great bass player.
That's one nobody brings up.
Underrated bass player, so great. I love it.
yeah.
So many bass players. I can't even really Adam
Cool.
Clayton.
Right on. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, and I'm going to go to the drummer here. And what's your background in music? What metal bands or any other bands you were in prior to joining Echo Set?
So I've been in a lot of bands. I'd say the most previous ones is Metal Falcon, and I'm in this other band called Sophist. We're kind of got a new singer, so we're kind of getting off the ground right now. I'd say my influences are like Tim Alexander from Primus, I really love the drummer from Dave Matthews Band. A band I'm in right now, or a band I'm really into right now is called Ginger. They're from Ukraine. They're I don't know, crazy like alternative metal band. I'm sure a lot of people know Ginger, Jinjer.
Yeah.
They're really good. Yeah, I've played in a lot of bands. I can't name them all, honestly. But yeah, that's so Echo Set's my new this project, and then Sophis is another project I'm working on. That's most current. But Metal Falcon, you should totally check out Metal Falcon. They're no longer a band.
And this is all original stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. But yeah.
Maybe you should have auditioned for that Primus drum spot.
You know what?
Can you play everything Tim plays? Wow, that would be incredible. Because he's such a badass. I'm the biggest Primus fan ever, so I get it.
Like
I get it.
Amazing. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
I was lucky to see the man and meet him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the number one Primus drummer is Tim. I could probably do it.
It would have got you a lot of exposure if nothing else, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But,
and
brought that exposure to the crew here. So
but no, their new drummer, he's amazing.
yeah.
So
He must have been. I mean, for all those drummers that tried out, you know, he was the guy. They got their guy,
Yeah.
Hoffman, right? So,
Yeah.
So real quick, I mean, I'm a big metalhead myself. There's so many genres of metal. You got the power metal, prog metal, you know, industrial metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal. So what?
Hessians with aggression.
Yeah, there you go. What's the metal that you play and you prefer, not to limit it to one of these subgenres? So.
Oh man, that's a really great question and kind of hard to answer because I like any kind of music. Like if you listen to my playlist, it's literally like classical music, like jazz, death metal, hard metal, old metal. Like it's
Same
all,
here.
it's
Primus
all,
to
it's all-
Luscious
yeah,
Jackson
it's all over the
to
place.
Slayer to Jamiroquai,
yeah.
everything, you know. So
But yeah.
yeah. Oh man, one of the best.
Gojira, Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. But I love music and I just love playing.
Cool. It's great to have an open mind. For me, I could never just stay in a box to one thing. So as we move on to the middleman here, Phil Neutral, the one and only, the man of many projects, and the man of many toys on the table, because I saw this guy back in the day in a band called Scar Tissue, and it left a huge impact on me. I said that to you before off camera, and it was just the craziest, coolest thing I ever saw. You came out, I think it was a trio, right, with Scar Tissue, and then you had a table full of talking toys, and you used it as like live sampling. And to me, being into industrial and, you know, Ministry, My Life with the Throat Kill Cult, I'm into these samples in music, and my band Mannequin Planet uses samples, and a lot of that just come from the industrial background. But you're such an innovator, man. I want to say I've interviewed many people, and that was the coolest, like most original thing I've seen in many years since then, man. Really, 20, 30 years down the road, I'm like, there was never a guy with the talking toy table that, you know, so wow. Like, tell everybody about Scar Tissue, what the sound was like, what you guys did, the shows you played. Yeah.
Gosh, where to start with Scar Tissue? Well, Steve Watkins, he had produced all this music, and then he brought me in on guitar, and then in a lot of ways he ended up becoming kind of a mentor in production, because I wasn't doing production, I was just a guitarist. So Scar Tissue, I kind of grew up doing music production in Scar Tissue. But we just kind of clicked because I loved listening to all the old industrial, everything from Skinny Puppy to Fetus to Revolting Cocks, Wax
KM,
Tracks,
FDM, all that
all
stuff.
the Wax Track stuff.
Yeah.
And then just, so then, you know, it just kind of lent itself to the guitar. And I think, you know, I kind of weave in what are my influences. I think my influence has always been kind of being defiant towards influences. Like, I always just wanted to make my own thing and just look at the guitar in terms of the sounds it makes, rather than emulating or being a mirror guitarist for other guitar stuff. So it was just pure self-expression. So it was all about the tone and the layering of the guitar. And so what I found was, just by tweaking toys, I would find different ways of using effects that match the toy. So I would make effects presets that would go and serve that toy. So if I know how a toy responded to what I was doing with it and where it would fit in the song. So there was a lot of, I think that the hyper focus and the obsessiveness that I have sometimes helps me just keep digging through stuff until I find the right thing, and I won't stop. Like, everyone will be pulling their ears off and I'll still keep going.
Yeah.
So that was what it was. I mean, Scar Tissue was just this obsessive thing, but yeah, we were really into sound. I always think about what Steve said when he was interviewed one time, where they said, you know, how do you write songs and what's your influence? And he goes, I'm just making it for me. You know, I hear something in my head, I hear a sound, that sound wants to be treated a certain way according to my taste, and so he would just kind of follow it that way. And I think that's how I approach my guitar too. I mean, that's where we kind of saw eye to eye, was just the sound itself could be treated. So I always thought about like medicated beats and medicated guitar, and everything was just getting medicated and treated with sonic adjustments. So that's what the toys were. And it still goes on in this. I mean, because sometimes I'll use, I think I approach guitar tone that way. So it's all tone. The tone itself drives towards the creativity.
Yeah, to me also, you know, being a fan of Tom Morello in his funk band before Rage Against the Machine Lockup, he's just a player that, you know, when you hear this guy play guitar sometimes, he's making it sound like everything but a guitar, a keyboard, a DJ. And I just felt like you kind of brought that that original, unique element to it, and it was just pretty mind-blowing, man. I was going to say, Steve wasn't he the drummer for Space Vacuum from Outer Space?
Yeah, he was Space Vacuum, as well.
So everybody...
It was Echo Set's
and he was Echo Set's first drummer. Steve was actually playing drums with Echo Set
nice.
for the first 2 years, and then he had changing priorities, and so he stepped out.
Yeah. Well, everybody, in case you don't know, this was a band of a couple girls, Steve, and they maybe one other person that had took on the space theme, and they would dress up in space costumes, hence the name Space Vacuum from Outer Space. Played some shows with Scar Tissue and, you know, all over, and to me it was defined an era of our local scene that was way more creative and unique, and a bit of bizarre, you know, which is something I can, being into Mr. Bungle and Primus, you know, it's like, I love the weirdo out the box stuff, you know, and so we know you do a lot of other projects, so let them know about your Phil Neutral YouTube channel or website, right?
Well, I have stuff on Bandcamp. I've got the Phil Neutral, I've got Written on Missiles, I've got Bionic Siren.
I love that name, Bionic Siren.
I'm working on the Spillage People, but I haven't quite gotten there yet.
You know, people should pay you for band names, don't y'all think? I mean, this guy, he can come up with band names like that. Look at this guy.
Endangered Kayak.
My gosh, man.
Greasy Bible.
That's awesome.
So yeah, no,
So
those
Bandcamp,
are not trademarked. You can have them if you want.
Bandcamp, and
Bandcamp
what else?
is mainly I just put stuff on Bandcamp. We were putting stuff up through like DistroKid, but then I don't know. I just got tired of Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like a good deal. So we just put stuff on Bandcamp and playing locally. I think that you know, the current fantasy is we just keep playing shows, and then people like the music, and then we play more shows, and then the shows get better. And then, you know, if something happens, then we'll put more music up. And we're, now that we're starting to gel, I mean, it's really been awesome having Rachel join. It's like we're tightening up, and I think that we're going to be getting more and more recordings going up on Bandcamp, and we're starting to cover more ground with material. And so, yeah, I mean, we're definitely putting our time in. We rehearse regularly, and we're trying to book a lot of shows. So that's the thing we love to do, is just play more shows.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, wind down the interview, what is the rest of the plans for 2026 going into 27?
We're going to play a show on O'Reilly's in September in the Haight, in San Francisco. We're going to play next month at the barbecue that Manny throws over in West Oakland.
Oh, is that right?
Revolution, is that what it's called?
Because I live 5 minutes from here, you'll be seeing me there.
What's it called? I don't know the name of it. He calls it is it the Revolution? Yeah, so we're going to play there. I just know it's called the barbecue, but it's through the Lanesplitters gig. But then we're trying to book some other stuff. We're probably going to play something in Sacramento. We were talking to Old Ironsides, and we're talking to the Golden Bear about another show. We haven't lined it up, but as soon as we do, we're going to post it on Instagram. So as soon as we do, we're always posting everything on Instagram right now and on our website.
Cool.
We
So-
have an actual website too.
Yeah, give that to the people and look for that for updates.
Yeah.
You know? Echoset.com?
Yeah, I think it's .net.
.net.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. So we're
don't
gonna work on
remember.
some
You
recordings.
Google it.
Okay. There you go. You do that these days for everybody. So, well, thank you all for your time,
you.
and it was a pleasure talking to you guys again. And yeah, so just look for some recordings, some more live shows from these fine people here from Sacktown, and yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you all set and catching a couple songs. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.